medical assistance program, educational assistance, burial assistance, magnegosyo taday. I believe it's a nationwide coverage. So may we know how our constituents can apply for this program?
Madam Chair, I will forgo the opportunity to defend the Office of the Vice President 2025 budget proposal by question and answer, and I will leave it to the House of Representatives to decide on the proposal as presented.
So Madam Chair, if the Honorable Vice President will agree, meron po ba tayong mga areas kung saan pwedeng mag-apply? Let's say if we are from the Visayas, where can our constituents apply for this kind of program and the possibility of having the requirements to apply for such assistance?
Madam Chair,
Yes, ma'am.
I will forgo the opportunity to defend the Office of the Vice President 2025 budget proposal by question and answer, and I will leave it to the House of Representatives to decide on the proposal as presented.
Yeah. Madam Chair, for the information of our good Vice President, I'm not objecting to the program. I'm merely asking for the requirements so that if people would like to avail, they would know where to go and how to go about it. So, Madam Chair, my next question is on the educational assistance. Let's say if we have deserving and poor students and they have existing CHED scholarship, can they apply for additional educational assistance in such program?
Madam Chair, I will forgo the opportunity to defend the Office of the Vice President 2025 budget by question and answer, and I will leave it to the House of Representatives to decide on the proposal as presented.
Yeah, thank you, Madam Vice President. Madam Chair, on the Kalusugan Food Truck Pansarap, does this also cover parts of the Visayas, or is it only limited to NCR?
President.
Yes, ma'am. I will forgo the opportunity to defend the Office of the Vice President 2025 by question and answer, and I will leave it to the House of Representatives to decide on the proposal as presented.
So, Madam Chair, my next question is on the magnegosyo taday, which is livelihood is actually part of economic upliftment. Are there parameters by where MSMEs can apply for this?
Madam Vice President.
Madam Chair, I will forgo the opportunity to defend the Office of the Vice President 2025 budget proposal by question and answer, and I will leave it to the House of Representatives to decide the proposal as presented.
Thank you, Madam Vice President. Madam Chair, in the government website, it says, as the second highest public office in the land, the Office of the Vice President shall work for the welfare of the Filipino people and contribute to nation building, economic development, and political stability by fostering fidelity to the Constitution of the Republic of the Philippines and upholding the highest office, and that is the Office of the President. May we hear the wisdom of the Vice President on this matter.
Madam Chair, I will forgo the opportunity to defend the Office of the Vice President 2025 budget proposal by question and answer, and I will leave it to the House of Representatives to decide on the proposal as presented.
Thank you, Madam Chair. On the rice food bags, considering that Iloilo and Western Visayas is a rice-producing province, can our farmers contribute to this rice program so that they will have an adequate market with the adequate price?
Madam Vice President.
Yes. Madam Chair, I will forgo the opportunity to defend the Office of the Vice President 2025 budget proposal by question and answer, and I will leave it to the House of Representatives to decide on the proposal as presented.
Thank you, Madam Vice President. Madam Chair, the DPM in its proposed budget mentions that the mission of the Office of the Vice President is to promote economic development, political stability, and fostering fidelity to the Constitution of the Republic of the Philippines and upholding the highest standard of professionalism in the civil service. It further says that in a sector outcome promote political and socioeconomic development consistent with state policies and government priorities and thrusts. My question, Madam Chair, is the Honorable Vice President amenable to this, or do we need to amend portions of this?
Madam Vice President.
Madam Chair, I will forgo the opportunity to defend the Office of the Vice President 2025 budget proposal by question and answer, and I will leave it to the House of Representatives to decide on the proposal as presented.
So, Madam Chair, I do respect the contention of the Vice President. My last question is to the Honorable Chair. Yeah, as it was mentioned earlier, Madam Chair, I am not sure, but can you appraise us in the history of the Congress of the Philippines during budget briefings and deliberations? Has the Committee on Appropriations ever detained any resource person?
Never.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. Maraming salamat po, Madam Vice President. Thank you very much.
Salamat. Next to interpolate is the Honorable Vice Chair Claudia Bautista. Finish first round first. Okay, so next is the Honorable Geraldine Roman.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. Magandang gabi po sa ating lahat. Magandang gabi po sa ating Vice President. I just want to express a little bit of my disappointment and frustration kasi I really wanted to be enlightened regarding specific programs, in particular, those very, very creative programs, which is actually my favorite, yung Magnegosyo Taday, no? Which will benefit a lot of women, which is part of my advocacies, as well as the LGBT community. But I guess our Honorable Vice President will just give me the same answer. So let me just manifest my disappointment. Parang pumasok po ako sa meeting na to na may katanungan pero lalabas po ako ng kasagutan and even more questions. I feel compelled to express my deep sense of regret over the way our discussions have unfolded today. Sayang ang pagkakataon. This hearing was supposed to be a crucial forum for us to ensure that the public funds are allocated wisely and effectively, no? However, instead of gaining clarity and insights needed to make informed decisions, we find ourselves caught in a cycle of verbal disputes and personal attacks. And I'm just pointing at one side only, maybe both sides, possibly, and also formula answers, scripted answers, and even insinuations that we are following a script. Napakadali lang naman pong sumagot. Bakit kinakailangan pa nating hold us in doubt and keep us in the dark? So, given the lack of substantive answers provided us, I'm left with concerns on how we, as members of the Congress, can make an informed decision regarding the budget of the Office of the Vice President and how we can follow our mandate if there is an apparent lack of cooperation. Because to say that there is an answer, which is not really an answer because it does not shed light, it does not give clarity, it does not address the specific concerns. We may question, in fact, certain issues of whether it is valid to discuss the confidential funds or not. But how about our questions? Katulad ng questions ni Representative Garin. Those are valid questions. I think dapat they merit also an answer. So hindi ko na po ipagpapatuloy ang aking pagtatanong eh. Ano naman po ang magiging sagot? Sana po nagkaroon tayo ng clarity. That is my sincere wish talaga. Just clarity. Especially dun sa mga budget items ng 2025 na sa una ay willing naman ng Office Vice President to answer and so graciously, no? Pilit kong inuunawa, baka naman physically exhausted ng ating resource person. I could hear that her voice is already namamaos, ano? But alam ko malakas naman siyang tao, malakas siyang babae with great resistance. So, nanghinayang po ako sa pagkakataon na ito. With that, Madam Chair, I leave it also to this committee how to figure out how can we come up with an informed decision with this kind of formula answer. Thank you very much, Madam Chair.
Salamat. Next is the Honorable Jude Asidre.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Good afternoon, good evening, Madam Vice President. I will be asking questions about the 2025 budget. Given the esteemed position of the Office of the Vice President, could the Honorable Vice President kindly enlighten this committee on how the proposed budget reflects the core mandate of the Office of the Vice President? We are sincerely eager to understand how these resources will be used to fulfill the critical responsibilities, particularly the constitutional mandate of the Vice President. Madam Chair.
Madam Chair, I will forgo the opportunity to defend the Office of the Vice President 2025 by question and answer. I will leave it to the House of Representatives to decide on the proposal as presented. You can find all the answers in the audiovisual presentation, in our submission of documents to the Secretariat, in the PowerPoint presentation, and in the opening statement. I will leave it to the House to decide on the proposal.
Madam Chair, with the significant budget being requested by the Office of the Vice President, this committee is, I believe, keen to hear about the tangible successes by the OVP's programs thus far. Will this budget ensure that such commendable progress continues? I'm referring to the budget requested for 2025.
Madam Chair, I will forgo the opportunity to defend the Office of the Vice President 2025 budget by question and answer, and I will leave it to the House of Representatives to decide on the proposal as presented.
Madam Chair, I believe we are all familiar with the constitutional mandate of the Vice President, and that's why we'd want to know if the Honorable Vice President could clarify how the proposed budget allocation and the programs that it supports are aligned with this constitutional mandate of the Vice President. Because we're confident that the budget is a perfect reflection of the Vice President's priorities and the office's essential duties.
Madam Vice President.
Yes, Madam Chair, the answers are in the AVP presentation, the opening statement, the documents that we submitted to the Secretariat, and the PowerPoint presentation. I will forgo the opportunity to defend the Office of the Vice President 2025 budget proposal by question and answer, and I will leave it to the House of Representatives to decide on the proposal as presented.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Madam Chair, in the spirit of collaboration, could the Vice President also share how the OVP works with other agencies to avoid duplication and ensure the efficient use of public funds? We trust that the budget is also a reflection of such strategic coordination.
Vice President.
Madam Chair, I will forgo the opportunity to defend the Office of the Vice President 2025 budget proposal by question and answer, and I will leave it to the House of Representatives to decide on the proposal as presented.
Madam Chair, considering the careful thought that must have gone into crafting the budget of the OVP, would the Vice President explain the rationale behind specific allocations? We are particularly interested in how these figures, especially the amounts, were arrived at, considering that the Vice President has a national mandate, and how it was computed so as to translate into meaningful outcomes for the public. Madam Chair.
Madam Vice President.
Yes, Madam Chair, I will forgo the opportunity to defend the Office of the Vice President 2025 budget proposal by question and answer, and I will leave it to the House of Representatives to decide on the proposal as presented.
Madam Chair, the Honorable Vice President has repeatedly mentioned that she will forgo the right to personally defend the budget through a question and answer format. How should this committee interpret such a decision? would it be fair to conclude, Madam Chair, that the programs under the OVP may not be as high a priority or as important as we had hoped for? Or should we interpret the response and the demeanor of the Vice President indicates that we, the elected representatives of the people, and the people that we represent do not deserve an explanation on how public funds would be spent by their office, Madam Chair?
Madam Vice President.
Yes, Madam Chair, all the answers are in the audiovisual presentation, the documents that we submitted to the committee secretariat, the opening statement, and the PowerPoint presentation. I did not say forgo the right, I said forgo the opportunity to defend.
Thank you, Madam Vice President, because I think it's not our right to explain our budget. It's our duty to explain our budget. That's all, Madam Chair. And this I would have to say, I leave it to the committee to consider the responses of our Honorable Vice President in the approval of the budget of the OVP.
Salamat. Before we move to round 2, just a short manifestation on my part with a kind indulgence of my colleagues. Kanina po nabanggit ang pangalan ko kasama ni Kong Franz. Nung meron pong nagtanong kung bakit may 125 million para sa fourth quarter, taong 2023, na hindi po ginamit ng ating pangalawang Pangulo. Nabanggit ang pangalan ko. I believe ang sinabi po ni Madam Vice President is that tila may lumalabas na po na pattern simula nung araw na nagsagutan po kami sa plenaryo na lumabas po na 11 days lamang ang period na kung saan ginamit po ang pondo amounting to 125 million. I just want to state for the record that that was in no way planned action on my part. That was the most difficult moment in my 5 years in Congress. Tinanong ako ng isang tanong, I just had to say the truth. Nakabase sa liquidation report at kitang-kita nyo naman doon po sa nakakita na po ng notice of disallowance na ginamit po siya from December 21 to 31 at pagbilangin po natin ang mga araw na yan mula 21 hanggang 31 ay indeed 11 days. So yun lang po, I just want to state that on record that on my part, simula nung moment na yon ay naging napakahirap ng buhay ko. No rational human being would ever want to plan her life that way. So there's absolutely no way that can be planned on my part, just for the record. And so with that, I move on to the second round. The Honorable Raul Manuel is recognized.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Madam Chair, kasi I started with questions on the DepEd confidential funds for 2023. Tingin ko, Madam Chair, if the resource person is proud of her accomplishments sa counterinsurgency tsaka anti-terror efforts, she should avail of this opportunity to explain. Sana kasi di naman na siya kasama sa upcoming na DepEd budget briefing. This will also set a bad precedent na kung nag-resign ka sa isang posisyon ay hindi ka na pwedeng matanong sa kung paano ka gumamit ng pondo na ikaw din naman yung nag-propose. Also, Madam Chair, yung DepEd confidential funds, that's in line with her role as NTFL ka co-vice chair kahit nga wala naman yung posisyon na yun sa EO70 of 2018, pero given na ganun ka aktibo ang vice-presidente sa ganung usapin. So Madam Chair, again gusto lang nating i-present na yung table natin kanina kasi doon natin mapapakita na meron ding lumilitaw na pattern gaya ng na-raise ni Congresswoman Sonsing. Dito naman sa DepEd confidential funds may pattern din. So ma-present po sana natin ang table. Ayan. Balik po. Ayan, oo. 37.5 million no, sa bawat quarter. Ganun po ka-exact, Madam Chair. Pero, similarly, sa nabanggit din kanina ni Kong Rog, kahit sa DepEd, Madam Chair, for 2023, fourth quarter, hindi na rin ginamit yung confidential funds for DepEd. Kaya, Madam Chair, can we confirm sa part po ng COA, I'll address this question to COA, na nag-issue po kayo ng audit observation memo for DepEd confidential funds for third quarter of 2023.
Madam Vice President.
It's
Sorry,
to COA.
ASCOM Juliano.
Madam Chair, I have no personal knowledge about the audit of Intel and Confidential Fund, but maybe it's in the compliance report submitted by COA to the subpoena issued by the House of Representatives.
So hindi po wala pong knowledge ang ating rep ngayon from COA na nabanggit po doon, and I quote, "The propriety of the transactions could not be ascertained as the submitted liquidation reports were not fully supported with complete and proper documentations as required under Joint Circular number 2015-01." Hindi po ninyo yun makakonfirm?
ASCOM.
Hindi po ako nag-audit. Selected lang po yung...
But you
unit lang.
represent the agency in this budget briefing. So supposedly you can confirm or ascertain yung ilan sa mga nasa site na galing din naman sa COA.
I have the records, Your Honor, about of the transactions and the details of the audit.
Madam Chair, I think the answer will not suffice. Can we request or even give a brief amount of time from our representative from COA tungkol po sa matter na ito para po ma-confirm nila?
Madam Chair, as already explained earlier, the purpose of my presence here is to give the rationale about the compliance of COA to the subpoena duces tecum. I'm not the official who supervises the Intelligence and Confidential Audit Unit because it is a dedicated unit solely for confidential funds. It could not be seen by other officials except the staff of the Intelligence and Confidential Funds Audit Unit.
Okay, so ganito na lang Madam Chair, since ang basis po natin ay galing din naman sa documents na pinrovide ng COA dahil dun sa ating subpoena do Tecum, then I move Madam Chair na kung meron ng updates from COA regarding the deficiencies of the Office of the Vice President sa DepEd confidential funds for third quarter of 2023, ay formally ma-inform po ang Committee on Appropriations. I so move Madam Chair. I reiterate my motion
It's an action for
for
DepEd.
COA, Madam
For-
Chair. Yes, to provide us with updates given na meron siyang audit observation memo on that confidential fund. Ibig sabihin, ongoing pa yung evaluation process. Then, kapag may mga updates, ay formally i-provide yon sa committee, Madam Chair.
Before we rule on the motion, ASCOM, is this something that can be done?
If it's a pending audit, it is within the exception of the COA circular on the release of documents.
I said, Madam Chair, after, ibig sabihin, pag may mga concrete updates na, saka mag-provide ng update sa committee na ito. So we will will allow COA to proceed with due course sa dapat pa niyang gawin after that audit observation memo. Tas kung may concrete updates, Madam Chair, yun yung i-provide dito sa komite.
Okay, so ASCOM, could you submit as required by the Honorable Manuel?
Madam Chair, we will wait for the official document from the from the Committee on Appropriations, and then we will study it and comply if there's no legal impediment or violation of our own rules.
Is that a sufficient response?
Yeah, I think that would suffice, Madam Chair. Thank you. Next topic, Madam Chair, since ang gusto ng OVP ay 2025 budget, mapag-usapan din natin siya maliban dun sa past budgets. Madam Chair, I'd like to discuss yung 10 million peso project na children's book. Madam Chair, dahil ayaw din po ng resource person ng question and answer, then ang paraan ko na lang po ay hindi pa tanong. Tell the committee sino po ang editor ng children's book na ito.
Madam Vice President.
Madam Chair, all the answers are, wala yan doon sa opening statement. I will forgo the opportunity to defend the Office of the Vice President 2025 budget proposal by question and answer. And I
Madam
leave
Chair, I
it to
did
the
not
House
ask
of
a question. I
Representatives
told the
to decide
resource
the
person to
proposal
tell this
as
committee the
presented.
name of the auditor of the children's book.
Yan ang nangyayari kapag
Honorable
hindi
I
na
didn't ask a question. I asked the resource person to tell the name. Pero baka hindi pa nadidistinguish ano yung tanong, ano yung hindi. Pero since ayaw pong ibigay yung name ng editor ng children's book, ito kasi yung point natin, Madam Chair. The book contains many errors. Sige po, pakita po natin. Kasama po dyan, dahon ng banahaw. Wala naman pong dahon ng banahaw. Baka anahaw po yung tinutukoy. Yung word na sila, dapat po sina. Tapos yung walang awa, dapat nga may hyphen po yan. Tapos, Madam Chair, nakalagay din yung pugad daw ng kwago ay nakapatong sa sanga. Madam Chair, sabi ng mga eksperto, ang owl's nest, hindi po ay nakapatong sa sanga. Nasa either butas po yan ng mga puno or nasa ilalim ng lupa. Next, Madam Chair, this book is not child-friendly as per writers kasi pag children's book, Madam Chair, hindi lang yung text yung mahalaga, pati yung visuals, Madam Chair. So, yung illustrations are not cohesive, para yung elements pinatong lang sa background. Tapos, low value ito for illustrations kasi, Madam Chair, kahit nga yung pangalan ng illustrators ay maliit compared dun sa pangalan ng author. When in fact, for a children's book, magkasimbigat po ang papel ng illustrator tsaka ng author. Also, Madam Chair, sa content, nag-i-impose po siya na kung paano dapat umasta ang isang kaibigan. But, Madam Chair, for children's books, dapat hindi siya nag-impose ng anumang bagay sa bata. It should be fun. Masaya lang dapat yung bata na binabasa yung libro. So, Madam Chair, this book na pinopropose na pondohan, and actually, ang topic na nga natin, 2025 budget, gusto ng resource person, we limit to the 2025 budget, pero hindi pa rin sinasagot. But this book, Madam Chair, will just contribute to the worsening of the learning crisis. Hindi po siya actually ay makabata. Ano? Kaya, Madam Chair, before I end sa second round, kasi kanina meron din pong ad hominem sa atin, meron pang disinformation about this representation. Madam Chair, kung okay lang naman yung mga libro at halimbawa, kung totoo pa kayong sinasabi about me, I would even suggest sa OVP, dagdagan yung budget, baka makalimang libro pa ang vice-presidente. Pwede pa nga may special edition tungkol sa kwento ng buhay ko. Pero given, Madam Chair, na hindi din talaga pumapasa sa standards ng pagsusulat ng libro. And I also think, Madam Chair, na throughout this hearing, hindi successfully na-defend yung budget ng Office of the Vice President. So, ako, personally, I'm inclined na hindi natin i-terminate yung budget briefing for the Office of the Vice President. So, yun na lang muna, Madam Chair. Maraming salamat.
Madam Chair.
Yes, Madam Vice President.
Yes. The name of the editor of the book is Raul Manuel. It's a joke, ma'am. You strike it out of the record if you want.
Next to interpolate is the Honorable Jefferson Konghon.
Good evening, Madam Chair. Good evening, VP. I take a strong exception do sa sinabi ni VP kanina na nagkakabuhol-buhol na yung script. Kasi sa totoo lang, wala naman tayong script dito. Ano ang ibig sabihin ng ating VP, no? Is she accusing Congress? Ang sa akin lang is dapat ready i-prove ang ating Vice President. Otherwise, we should strike it off the record. So may I move right now to strike it off the record, Madam Chair? Yung salitang nagkakabuhol-buhol na yung script.
Is there any objection? Hearing none, the same is approved.
Second, Vice Chair, nakakalungkot kasi nandito tayo lahat para tayo malinawan kung ano talaga yung nangyari, lalong-lalo na sa budget ng Vice President pagdating sa confidential fund and yung budget niya ngayong 2025. Kaya lang, hindi na rin ako magtatanong kasi alam ko, paulit-ulit din yung kanyang isasagot. So nakaka-frustrate lang dahil ito ay pera ng taong bayan. I would like to thank the Vice President for showing her true colors to the House and her lack of respect for check and balances and the separation of powers and accountability. We are a republic. We don't have a king or a queen. Now, Madam Chair, dahil hindi naman masagot ni VP Sara yung mga katanungan ng miyembro, may I move now to defer the hearing of the budget of the Office of the Vice President. I so move,
Is there any objection? Hearing none, same is approved.